All right, so we are on site today right here at the Ocean Forest Plaza. Right back behind me, that huge tall building behind me. Guys, we're gonna cover a cash scenario, a financing scenario. We're also gonna talk through depreciation and appreciation. But first, I wanna cover the AirDNA estimate. According to AirDNA, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, oceanfront unit right here at the Ocean Forest Plaza should bring in $35,700. That's with a 58% occupancy, and that's with an average daily night of $170 per room visit. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. All right, guys, let's get in unit 2208. Now, as soon as you walk in, you're going to notice a hall that way that leads to the oceanfront balcony. You're also going to notice a bedroom on the left here. Now, right when you come in, there is tile flooring. They do have carpet throughout. It's kind of Jack and Jill-ish between a community bathroom, as you can see there, and a bedroom bathroom. Flat screen on the TV. Plenty of space, huge king-size bed. Great closet there. And then you have in this bedroom your first vanity of 2 dual vanities. You can see there's another vanity here. You do have a tub shower combo. You can see. And then this is the bathroom. Now again, it leads out to the community bathroom. There's a closet here. It is locked. That is your owner's closet, most likely. It's where you're going to store all your soaps and your detergent and everything else. Then you come in, a very decorative corner wall right here. Pretty cool. And you do have your kitchen. And your living room and dining room effortlessly flowing together with your flat screen. This, guys, this is your money maker right here. This view, this balcony. This is what you are paying for, guys. Now there's your on-site pool. That's the money maker right there. People are paying for a nice large balcony, just like this one, as you can see, and an exceptional view. Pretty cool decorative fireplace there as well, don't miss it. And that wraps it up. Now guys, real quick before we jump out of this unit, I do want to point out that you can see these ceilings are much higher up. These are very tall ceilings. So even though this unit is a 1-bedroom, because the ceiling height is so tall, it makes the property feel expansive and massive. That is a huge bonus when you're buying a smaller unit that can give it a very different feel for owners and for guests. So I highly recommend finding units that have the extra tall ceiling. That way when people walk in, they don't feel cramped, they don't feel constricted, but they feel like it's an open space even though it's only a 1-bedroom unit. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. In our market, if you plan on making money, you want to do self-management. You want to go off-site. You do not want to use the on-site property manager. And here's why. Generally, our on-site property managers charge between 30 and 40% of your gross rental income. That is a significant chunk of your profit. And I see self-managed owners do very, very well on their own, if not a lot of the times better than what the on-site property management companies bring in. Now, in my personal opinion, I do believe that you're going to do better because you're going to manage it because you own it. It is your property. It is your investment. And what that means for me is no one's going to treat it like you treat it. That's simply the bottom line. You know, there are great property managers out there, yes. However, I don't think anyone's going to have a vested interest like you're going to have. So you're going to treat that investment, every guest experience with excellence. You're going to create an experience for your guests that they're not going to forget, and they're going to come back year after year after year. So you want to self-manage, you want to go on Airbnb, and you want to find a resort that allows your guests to use the on-site amenities, particularly all of the pools and lazy rivers, the restaurant and things like that. So that way you have great amenities, you can self-manage, and you can maximize your profit. If you're not paying out 30 to 40% in profit to a property manager and you're self-managing it yourself, you're going to keep a lot of profit in-house. Plus, you can do additional marketing like blogs, YouTube, Google Ads, Instagram, Facebook, joining Facebook groups that are travel groups, and posting your listing in those groups. There's all kinds of things that you can do to boost the occupancy and therefore increase the gross rental income as well as ultimately your profit. So you want to self-manage. You have to self-manage. And a lot of people are concerned and they go, okay, well, if I self-manage, I'm not going to have the time for it. Guys, watch the video with Matt Freeze. He owns 12 oceanfront condos. He manages all of them. He's got the time, and he's a lender, and he's a broker that is in the middle of starting his own brokerage for mortgages. He is a mortgage broker. So he's got the time because he leverages technology. He simply syncs his calendar with his cleaning lady's calendar, and he lets the platforms do all the work for him, all the heavy lifting. You're going to be sending automated text messages and emails. A lot of the stuff is going to be automated and leveraged through technology. So it is not a lot of work. It's a little bit of work when you're first getting started, but it is not a lot of work in the day-to-day operations of it. You're simply going to leverage your technology. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, your HOA fee is going to include electric in the common areas, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, manager, security, rec facilities, legal and accounting, master antenna and cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, internet access, and pest control. All right, so let's talk about this resort's location. MYR, Myrtle Beach International Airport, is literally 21 minutes away. Market Common is only 22 minutes away. Broadway at the Beach is 8 minutes away. Barefoot Landing is 15 minutes away. Pine Lakes Country Club, a great place to play golf, only 2 minutes away. Broadway at the Beach, only 8 minutes away. And Dunes Country Club, another great place to play golf, is just literally minutes away right up the road. Guys, the location is phenomenal for your guests. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's talk through appreciation here at the Ocean Forest Plaza. Guys, if you would have bought a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom oceanfront condo in 2014, you're looking at $72,458 on average you would have paid. Now you fast forward to 2024, and it's a whopping $210,500. Yes, that's $138,042 in appreciation in 10 years. We're talking about almost $14,000 a year in appreciation. $13,800 and some change. Guys, that's what I'm talking about. In addition to the profits that you can make each year, in addition to the taxable income that you can deduct and write off for depreciation, in addition to the savings on your vacation expenses because you plan on using it every year for your family or yourself or your loved ones or your friends. Guys, the benefits to owning and operating a short-term vacation rental property like a Myrtle Beach Oceanfront condo are numerous, and it is one of the areas in your life that you can really win. Now, I'm going to give you 2 quick secrets about how to increase your occupancy rate. One I learned from somebody that was featured in Forbes magazine. She offers concierge services to her guests. She brought in $33,000 in gross rental income with an ocean view unit at the Sea Mist Resort. And she did that in part by offering concierge services. Services like bathrobes for him and her, rose petals on the bed, the towel swans, a gift for him, a gift for her, chocolates, all that sort of thing. Maybe even include things like dinner for 2, gift cards and stuff like that. Kind of make it a vacation package experience that you can additionally add on to the rental of your room to increase the gross rental income. You can easily have 3 packages, a $500, $1,000, a $1,500 package, where you're including a variety of concierge services. So that's the first one. Then the second one, guys, is the additional marketing that you can do. Now, I talked to an owner. He brings in an additional $8,000 to $10,000 extra by simply posting on social media and joining Facebook travel groups and posting his listing in those travel groups. That's it. Now, we're not going to talk about the fact that you could run a Google ad for a 3-minute YouTube video. Get on TikTok. Matt Freeze said he had over 11,000 views on one of his TikToks. Super simple way to get in front of people, free of charge. It's not costing you really anything, guys. Just your time and making a little video. You can obviously write a blog and do a blog post on your unit at the intersection of your rental and vacationing here in Myrtle Beach. There are all kinds of ways for you to do and increase the gross rental income on your unit. You just got to take to it and get it done. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's talk about financing just real quick. Now, do you want to buy this property as a second home or an investment property? In my opinion, you want to buy it as an investment property. With an investment property, you can rent it out 360 days a year. You don't have to occupy it. Now, it is going to be, the interest rate is most likely going to be a little bit higher as opposed to buying it as a second home. When you buy it as a second home, you can only rent it for 180 days out of the year. You do have a lower down payment, which is nice, but because Jason King has a 15% down program, you really don't have to worry about that anymore. You can buy a straight out investment property with only 15% down. Now, you might want to go the DSCR loan route because basically it is just so simple and so easy, being able to use the gross rental income from the unit to qualify for the investment. Now, of course, you have to have a certain credit score and so on and so forth, but you really don't have to show any documents like tax statements and things like that, so long as the unit has excellent gross rental income. Get in contact with me if you have questions about any of this, 843-360-1737. Now let's talk a little bit about remodel strategy. I always advise my clients to buy a dated unit if at all possible and remodel it. Why? Because I know of a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom oceanfront condo at the Caribbean that after remodel generated over $72,000 in gross rental income. It was over $38,000, I think $131 more than the average unit there rented for. Guys, that is a significant, normally, you know, a great 1-bedroom pulls in 40 grand. This pulled in 72, that's $32,000 more. Do you hear me? Because the remodel was phenomenal and the guest experience was excellent. They bought it for $150,000, they remodeled it, they rented it for a year, showed it could produce strong gross rental income, and they sold it for $268,000. They pocketed most likely around $88,000 if their remodel only cost 30 grand. So I think it was an excellent fix and flip, in my opinion. Now, so the point is you want to remodel. You always want to remodel, and you want to over remodel. You want to hit the minimum guidelines that we give you here on the channel for ensuring that your oceanfront condo rental meets that top 5% criteria so that you're getting stellar rentals. And that's what you want. And you can do it. I watch people do it all the time. It's totally doable. I have contractors here that will give you a quote. We can knock out a remodel for you in 14 days, a complete gut, fully remodeled unit. My contractor is excellent. Get in contact with me, 843-360-1737. Now, I'll tell you, for those of you who are considering, you're tight on cash and you're considering, all right, do I pay for a remodel out of pocket? or do I buy a unit that was recently remodeled? That's a really good one. Recently had a client, Patrick, very, very cool guy. He just came across that very same decision. He ended up buying a unit that was remodeled last year and back on the market this year. And he's able to finance his remodel in the purchase price. Instead of buying a cheaper unit, maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cheaper, he buys a nicer unit that's already remodeled, just had a remodel done on it. It's in the purchase price, and guess what? Now he's bought a unit that's already got a strong book of business on it. That unit produced over $44,000 in gross rental income last year. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom at the Sand Dunes Resort, and guess what? Now he's crushing it. That simple, that easy. He is legit stepping into a book of business on that unit and a fully remodeled unit, and he's set for the next 7 years easy. He's going to set back. He's going to increase the occupancy. It had an 80% occupancy rate last year. Over 292 days that unit was rented on the market. So he's going to aim to increase it by another 10% or so. And he's going to build he's got a nice book of business already. He didn't just buy a property, he bought a business, and it's remodeled and ready to go. So for those of you that might be a little tight on cash, you can look for the deals that are already remodeled. You're going to pay a little bit more for them, but you've got a turnkey, business. You're picking up, you've got proof that people are renting it and that it works. So in my opinion, it's a very smart move if you're a little bit tight on cash to look for a unit that has already been remodeled and basically finance it in your purchase price. However, plenty of investors in our market find the dated units that are cheaper, buy it with equity in it, fix it, and flip it within 2 years by demonstrating that it can perform a high level of gross rental income. It's another very viable strategy in our market. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, so let's work through a cash scenario purchase right here at the Ocean Forest Plaza for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom oceanfront condo. All right, so your purchase price is $222,000. Your average gross rental income between the 2022 and 2023 year was $26,874. Now, we've got you as having a 3% platform use fee for Airbnb to book your rentals. That's $806.21. Now, if you subtract the $806.21 from the average gross rental income of $26,874, it brings you to a subtotal of $26,067.55. Now, your taxes for 2023 on this unit were $2,065.39. Your cleaning services, $3,600. That is assuming 30 cleanings at $120 per cleaning. And then finally, we move on to your excise tax. Now, because you have to have a business license to operate a short-term rental in the Myrtle Beach market, you will pay an excise tax. It's for the use of the police stations and fire departments and things like that. Now, how it's calculated, it is calculated based off gross rental income. However, there's a base fee of $145 for the first $2,000 you collect in gross rental income. After that, it is $6 for every $1,000 of gross rental income that you collect. So for our purposes here, you're looking at a whopping $289. Now, there's also a local hospitality and accommodations tax. That's a total of 3% for $806.21. That is 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach and 1.5% to Horry County. You do have to pay those taxes. There's also a South Carolina state tax of 10%, but this fee is paid through the Airbnb platform. It's collected from the guest and paid, so you don't have to worry about coming out of pocket to pay that expense. Now, we've got you estimated for HO6 insurance at $900, and then your annualized HOA dues at $8,400. bringing you to a subtotal of $16,060.60 for your additional operating cost. Now, if you subtract the $16,060.60 from the $26,874 that you made up top, $26,067.55 up top, then that will bring you to a projected profitability of as much as $10,006.95. Now, it does give you a cash-on-cash return of 5%, which is similar to what you can make in your money market account. All right, so let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Ocean Forest Plaza for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. Now, that's a $222,000 purchase price. You do have a 15% down payment of $33,300. Yes, you heard me correctly. We do have a lender. His name is Jason King, and he does have a program that allows for 15% down. You can call pretty much any other lender, and they're going to tell you 25% down. You might find some that have a 20% down program, but I highly doubt you'll find another lender with a 15% down program. If you're interested in getting financing with Jason King, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Now, again, we've got your average gross rental income between year 2022 and 2023 at $26,874. And your Airbnb management platform or your use platform for Airbnb, that usage fee for booking through the Airbnb platform was $806.21. Now, if you subtract the $806.21 from the $26,874, it brings you to a subtotal of $26,067.55. Now, your principal and interest for taking out a mortgage on this property was $17,040. That does assume a 7.9% interest rate across 30 years. You do have to have a lender that has a program that will finance what's called in the finance world a condotel. The majority of your oceanfront condos are going to be condotels. Now, I would probably say 9 out of 10 of them are. Some of the things that will kind of clue you in as to if it's not a condotel would be if it doesn't have a front desk, if it doesn't have resort in the name. And then a little bit further on in the process, which your lender will uncover whether or not there's a high investor concentration count at that particular resort. So those are just a few of the things that you can look for if you're attempting to use a conventional loan to purchase an oceanfront condo. Now, moving right along, your taxes in 2023 were $2,065.39. Your cleaning services were $3,600. Your excise tax was a whopping $298. And your local hospitality and accommodations tax was a whopping $806.21. Again, that's 3% total of the gross rental income. Now, your HO6 insurance was $900. We have you estimated at $900. And then your annualized HOA dues were $8,400. This is going to bring you to a whopping operating expense total of $33,100. Now, you're going to subtract that $33,100 from your $26,067.55, the subtotal up top, and that's going to leave you negative. That's a projected loss of as much as $7,033.05. In this instance, it is not smart to finance an oceanfront condo here, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom at the Ocean Forest Plaza. Now let's talk through depreciating your oceanfront condo. For short-term rentals, you are allowed to depreciate over 39 years. So that's a purchase price of $222,000 divided by 39 years brings you to a taxable income deduction of $5,692.31 per year. Now, you should also look into a cost segregation study. For high income earners, you could be writing off $30,000 your first year and reducing your overall tax burden. It's something you need to ask your CPA about. And there are various strategies. Some people, could buy more than one oceanfront condo. They buy one, they write off $30,000 here, they write off $15,000 or $20,000 here, they sell it, they buy another one, they write off excessive taxes. it is something for you to speak to your CPA about and find out what's applicable for your particular circumstances. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Now let's quickly talk through some of the variants here at Oceanfront Plaza. I pulled 5 different units. Unit 801 in 2022 brought in $20,000 in gross rental income. Unit 1601 in 2022 brought in $37,333 in gross rental income. Unit 1604 brought in 2022 $27,366.77, And then Unit 508 in 2023 brought in $22,796.00. Now, an average of those gross rental incomes brings you to $26,874, which is the number that we ran your projections on. Now, there is a difference of $17,333 between the lowest unit and the highest unit. That is a lot of variance. That is a big range there. So, people are often concerned, well, how do I know what my oceanfront condo is going to do? Why is there so much variance? Why would one unit do $20,000 and another unit do $37,000? That doesn't make sense. Well, guys, it does make sense if you consider the simple fact that owning an oceanfront condo and operating it is a business. You have 2 CEOs in the same exact industry. One makes that company soar and the other makes that company tank. They have 2 completely different opinions and viewpoints and tactical and strategic decisions that they make for how to bring that company forward. And on top of that, you have absentee owners right here in oceanfront condos. You have people that purchase oceanfront condos, they pass it off to a property manager. The property manager does not treat it like it's their own. They are not going to manage that property the way that you are if you self-manage it, how you're going to treat every guest. And I'm not saying that there aren't great property managers out there. I'm just saying you're probably going to treat it a little bit differently because you own it, because it is yours and you have a very significant vested interest as opposed to 30 or 40% that a property manager is going to collect. So all that being said, when you self-manage your unit and you are a proactive and successful CEO of your company, you're watching the market, you're watching the pricing, you're really learning the ins and outs of your business. Guys, you are going to make that oceanfront condo soar. You're going to be the guy collecting $37,000 instead of the one that was absentee that really didn't have anything to do with his property and only collected $20,000. And you wonder why it's not profitable. Now, this contributes also to why people put, why are there so many oceanfront condos on the market right now? Well, there are a handful of reasons. Some insurance costs have gone up. There are people on the market that bought pre-COVID that have now seen a lot of appreciation and they want to go ahead and collect on that appreciation. But then you have other people that as soon as an insurance increase happens or a special assessment happens, they get scared because they are absentee and they jump ship. They put their property on the market. They're afraid of what could happen, what could go wrong. And you have other owners like Jason King, who I did a video on, you should check that video out, who had a special assessment, paid the $1,500 and still pocketed $11,000 in profit in 10 months. It works if you work it, guys. It's like anything else in life. Guys, you gotta trust me. You made it to the end of the video, but you need to click the video that's on your screen right now to hear how Matt Freeze makes $15,000 to $30,000 a year in annual profit off each of his 8 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. That's over $180,000 in average annual profits right there in passive income each and every year. Click the screen now.